Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I'm Courtney. Guess what? I still do not have my intro or outro, but I'll tell you this much. I think I'm just going to scrap all of it and go on to a different platform and have to figure it out and just bite the bullet and get on this freaking laptop of mine. But you guys, seriously, I cannot just sit in one spot. What am I supposed to do? Carry around my laptop while I'm talking to y'all? I mean, I guess I could still do it on my phone and then put it onto my laptop, and I don't know. I guess I could just not be lazy and I could try to do things the, professional way and stop being a lazy ass. It's not even lazy because I'm not lazy. I have a problem with sitting down at my laptop and just right now I'm sitting here pacing. I'm pacing back and forth. I make this little track around my house and I go on that same little track while I'm doing a podcast, or I'm outside and I'm on a walk. So it's I can't carry my podcast around doing that. It's just weird. But I'm going to have to do something because obviously, I'm getting more and more listeners, and maybe I would have a hell of a lot more. I'm sure, not even maybe, I'm pretty positive I would have a hell of a lot more listeners if I had my intro and outro music back again like I used to. If you listen to me on Alitu, you'll be able to hear my intro and outro. So listen to me on Alitu, A-L-I-T-U. It's got a yellow background of a purple alien-y kind of thing. But I also, like I said, I don't I don't have a problem with showing my face because I do, Instagram and Twitter, or not Twitter. I feel like everyone still calls it Twitter. Who calls it X? I mean, maybe you call it X. I don't. I still say Twitter. I can't help it. It's Twitter to me. But on X and on Facebook and YouTube, and on YouTube, all of those, I do my face. It's just, I don't want to sit here. But at any rate, here you are still. In spite of all of my shenanigans, all of my unprofessional videos, you are still here, managing to stomach all of my crappy, just garbage of a podcast. Isn't that selling it? Don't you love how I just totally oversell my podcast and I talk about how crappy it is and how unprofessional it is and how I'm surprised anybody listens to it? Man, maybe if I started, talking my podcast up, saying nice things, and maybe if I sat down and did it on my laptop and I got my intro and outro music back, maybe I would have a hell of a lot more followers. I don't know. Or maybe the people listen to me, maybe the reason people listen is because I don't have all of those things. Maybe it's because it sounds crappy. Maybe it's because I'm not showing my face. Maybe it's because I don't have my intro and outro and it's just, me. Who knows? I don't know. That's why I need to hear from you guys. I need feedback. I need feedback on my YouTube channel. I need feedback on my Instagram. I need feedback on my Clapper account, on my X account, But I am so grateful to every single person that is out there listening to me right now, that takes the time to download my podcast and takes the time to listen to it in spite of all of the nonsense. So thank you, and welcome every single one of you. Again, I always say this and I'm going to continue to say it. I don't give a crap what your background is. I don't care if you're a liberal, Democrat, woke person, whatever, as long as you're respectful, as long as you have good morals and values and you treat others well and you're not doing illegal things. I hate to say it, I don't feel like if you're woke and today's day and age current liberal, I feel like never mind, I won't say that, but I'm just hoping that everybody treats people with kindness and fairness. And it doesn't even have to be kindness. Just don't be an asshole. You don't have to go out of your way to be kind necessarily. It'd be great. It'd be awesome. Wouldn't that be a perfect world? I mean, what an amazing world if we really did pay it forward all the time. That would be awesome. But unfortunately, we're humans, and humans kind of suck sometimes. Humans, unfortunately, kill and rape and pillage, and unfortunately, we lie and we mistreat each other, and it's terrible. We are a product of a, caveman-like being, and so this is how we are. But of course, there are those of you out there, those of us out there that are compassionate, and we have grace. We give grace. We go out and try to help others. We want to educate ourselves. We want to look at all points of view. We want to listen to all points of view and not shame people or disown people because of their points of view. A lot of people want to celebrate that. So cheers to those people. Cheers to those that are still out there just trying to put their head down, go to work, make a clean, honest living, be a legal citizen. And if you're not a legal citizen and you're trying desperately to become one, cheers to you. If you are trying and you're not trying to use the system, cheers to you. If you're an American and you're not using the system, I don't mean using as in I have no problem. I've said this 1,000 times and I'll say it again. I have zero problem with anybody getting a leg up, getting a helping hand, using the government's benefits to help you when you genuinely need it and you're genuinely trying and you are working or you're trying desperately to work or you're a stay-at-home parent and the other one is working because you can't afford childcare, so you just need some help. Not against any of that. I'm against those that are fraudulently using benefits, those that don't have the right to it because they are illegal citizens, and it should go to legal citizens that are paying the taxes, that are working hard and deserve to have help. They shouldn't be second in line to their own country. I'm not understanding how people think it's okay or correct or proper or worth rioting over and destroying our country over illegal citizens that came here with complete disregard for our country. They come here and they still won't learn English. I know people that have been here for 5 years and they still have their kids translating for them. That is inexcusable. That's not acceptable. If you genuinely wanted to be a citizen, then you would have been putting forth the effort to do so. You would have been trying desperately to become a citizen by filling out the proper paperwork and learning our language after 5 years. Your children should not know English before you unless they were born and raised here and that's all they ever heard. But that is insane. I know that kids pick up language before adults. I know that kids are sponges and blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying my point is you don't get to live here for years, plural, and claim that you want to be a citizen while not taking any time and energy to learn the language. That goes for anybody. If I move to another country and I plan on living there, not just being a tourist and just visiting, but if I plan on living there and want to become a citizen, then I better know their language because I find it incredibly rude and disrespectful not to. Who cares if most countries speak English? So we should learn their language if we are in their country and we're going to become a citizen or want to spend any substantial amount of time there. That's my opinion. So I think that it's very annoying when I go to call companies and they say, press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish. I realize I can just immediately press 1, but sometimes, even when you press 1, they'll start speaking Spanish to you. And I'm like, but I just pressed 1 and I don't want to hear it. Now, if you need the translation, that's fine because I've been in other countries where I don't speak the language and I very much value those options. That's amazing. That's why I'm saying if you are a tourist or if you don't plan on living there and becoming a citizen, then I don't necessarily think you need to learn the language. I mean, if you did, that's awesome. That's really cool if you do, but I don't think it's necessary. So it's just incredibly infuriating that there are still videos going around talking about how awful it is that Republicans are allowing children to starve and are taking away benefits. No, what's awful is that misinformation and lies are being spread like wildfire. What's awful is that Republicans constantly get called Nazis and get the shit beat out of them and get their rights taken away and get canceled because of assumptions, because of claims, because of accusations, because of a belief, because of an opinion, or because of facts, because of statistics, because people really like to be miserable. Misery loves company. And that's sad because, again, we are humans, and ideally it would be fantastic if we could spread the love. But Democrats right now are hell-bent on just being sad sacks. They just are looking and seeking out all of the bad. They just cannot, for the life of them, see any kind of good going on. It's just nitpicking and going around. And what a life. Like you're going to have a heart attack. You're going to have a stroke. You're going to have high blood pressure. You're going to be lonely. You're not going to be well liked. It's not a way to live. I get caught up in that sometimes too. Republicans aren't perfect. Nobody is perfect. Sometimes we just get caught up in that moment and we're just like, rah, 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 rah. And then we want everybody else to join, everybody else to be just as pissed off as we are because we want to feel that camaraderie or we want to feel a connection or we just want to be validated. But sometimes it's not good to validate things that just aren't true. No matter how bad someone's feeling, no matter how bad someone wants you to validate something so that you can be down on their level, it doesn't mean that we should validate them. It doesn't mean that we should feed that fire. We should fuel that flame. Just like when men think that they can have babies and have menstrual cycles, we should not feed into mental illness. We should not fuel that fire. So, there's want versus need. Like, do we want people to go around being mentally unstable, uneducated, unaware? Do we want people to not have a clue what's going on? Or should we actually just be honest about what's going on? And if Trump is actually doing a good job, shouldn't we just be happy that the country isn't in the toilet? This benefits you as well. How does it not benefit a Democrat or a liberal if the country is doing well? I mean, for you, I would think you would go, yay, more money, because that's how you view the world, it seems. I don't want to lump everybody together, but a lot of people view the world as me, mine, mine. What can I get? What more can I get? How much more can I mooch? How much more can I suck like a Dementor from Harry Potter off of people? I just want to suck the souls out of everybody because, money and time and energy is just not enough. I need their souls as well. I mean, what is it going to take for you to be happy? Genuine question. I genuinely want to know. If gas prices are down, it used to be eggs and inflation. Well, if eggs and inflation are down, then I will be happy. If eggs, gas, and inflation, then I'll be happy. All of those things have happened. Still no happiness. Crime down. So speaking of that, I asked ChatGPT, not Google, because Google is highly biased. It's like asking the Washington Post or Fox for that matter. They're going to be biased about different things. I love Fox. I'm just saying that, of course, they're going to be more biased toward Republicans, just like CNN is going to be more biased for Democrats. Google is very much a liberal, woke search engine. But if you look up on ChatGPT, the top 25 cities with the highest rape, with the highest murder, homicide, and the highest robberies per capita in the United States, they are, shocker, it was 19. Oh, excuse me, it was 20. I looked up the top 20. I apologize. the top 20 I looked up, and shocker, 19 out of 20, Tulsa, Oklahoma was the only red city. All the rest were blue cities with the highest homicide, with the highest rape, with the highest robberies. All except one. 19 out of 20 cities were blue ran cities. And some of those blue ran cities are in red states. So I don't like it when people are like, oh, well, this red state, that red state. Okay, but the biggest cities in those states are blue. And the blue cities within those red states are not doing well. Also, I looked up out of the give me the top 20 cities in America that have the highest rate of people moving out of. What states are people moving out of as of right now in 2025? The top 20 in America. Guess what? You guessed it. All Democrat cities. All Democrat states. Also, if you look up, give me the top 20 states that people are moving into, that are inbound as of right now, 2025. Shocker, they are blue with like 3 purple states. So my point to this is the proof is in the pudding that when things are being ran the Biden way with Bidenomics or the Harris way or the woke way, it doesn't work. That's just a fact. And it really, I know facts are pesky. I say this all the time. Democrats and, woke people think that facts are they're these pesky little gnats. They're these pesky mosquitoes that just keep coming at you. And they just won't go away. They won't go away. But the facts are just that. And when you ask ChatGPT, it's not a biased thing. It just spits out facts. Also, it's a fact that when Trump was in office, both in 2016 and now, gas prices were cheaper than when Biden was in office. Eggs, inflation, economy, all better. These are facts. So why wouldn't you be celebrating that? Wouldn't you be like, yes, go America, 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 fuck yeah. Like, why? Why wouldn't you be celebrating? Like on the 4th of July, it really bothered me that people weren't just like hooping and hollering and just really feeling it. Plus, Trump is trying to initiate peace and has successfully initiated peace, unlike Biden, who starts war. That's also a fact. And funny enough, Putin admitted, like Trump had been saying forever, hey, not my fault this war started. If I had been in office, this would have never started. If I had been in office, this would have never started. And people are like, well, that's an opinion. That's an opinion, which is correct. It is technically an opinion. But then Putin himself said, yep, Trump is right. If he would have been in office, this war would have never started. Out of Putin's mouth. So why wouldn't people want to celebrate the fact that Trump is trying to create peace and has created peace? Why wouldn't these be things that we would be happy about? Our economy thriving, inflation being down, gas and eggs and food going down, crime going down, illegal immigration down by a lot. Unless, of course, you're in a blue city, in which case crime is up. But why wouldn't you be happy and want America to know about it? And why wouldn't all of these networks and newspapers be doing what you're supposed to do and do your job? And back in the day, they used to know that this was their job. They stuck to the facts. They created, they went out into the field. Journalists went out into the field. They gathered information. They gathered stats. They talked to people. They interviewed people. They saw both sides of the coin. They reported on both sides of the fence, all perspectives. They gathered all that information, and then they went and they reported that information to the public. They did not go around giving they may have given their personal opinions after the fact, but they were paid and they knew that their job was to give we the people information, and then we got to decide how to use that information. If we wanted to be scared, if we wanted to get more information and seek out more information or whatever. But they didn't get on there and completely just fabricate and lie and mislead and censor and abuse their power. They didn't go on there and create complete biasness. Biasness, is that a word? Biasness? No, they didn't report. They weren't biased. There we go. Man, I'm Bidening out again. So it's just infuriating to me that people can't just be happy and celebrate the fact that we're doing well. And why would you want to be oppressed? Why are people seeking out? No, I'm oppressed. No, I'm oppressed. No, me. I'm the biggest one. I'm the biggest oppressor. No, I'm the one that's the most oppressed. Oh, I'm so oppressed. Let's just all sit around and be oppressed. And let's all mooch off the economy and mooch off of all the taxpayers and mooch off all the Trump supporters while we say that we hate Trump supporters and we hate the government and we hate our country. But let's also have our military fight for us and protect our rights to say how much we hate our country without being shot or beheaded. But let's also talk smack about our veterans as well. I mean, seriously. It's just ridiculous. It's just so old, man. But Trump is kicking ass, and that's just the biggest FU of all. It's like these people can sit around and whine and just drown their sorrows in whatever they're drinking, their kombucha. Actually, I love kombucha, so I don't want to knock kombucha, and I'm not knocking eating organic because it is better for you. I mean, but are you just going to sit around and drink each other's tears? Because what a sad, pathetic life. Go out and stop getting paid to protest things that you don't even know what you're protesting. If you're out protesting, you sure the shit should know what on earth it is that you're standing for, what it is you're screaming and yelling about and setting cars on fire and destroying things for and burning things for and censoring others for and getting in the way of cars of others for. You should probably know what you're doing that, why you're doing that. You should probably have an understanding of what you're doing if you're going to put your life and other people's lives and buildings and stuff at risk. I'm just saying. Anyway, just a thought, but hey. Also, thoughts on this whole Israel thing. It really traps my hide. It really gets me incredibly fired up that there is a human on earth who could be against Israel. So if a chihuahua is constantly, incessantly biting at the heels and biting at a mastiff's jowls, constantly doing it, and the mastiff is just always overlooking it and always ignoring it and always being told by the owner, leave him alone, leave him alone, leave him alone. So then the chihuahua continues to bite the mastiff and bite the mastiff and bite the mastiff, and the mastiff will growl and the mastiff will pod him hey, get away. And the mastiff will warn and warn and warn and warn. And then the owner is constantly no, mastiff, no, leave that poor little tiny chihuahua alone. And then finally, the chihuahua just bites the mastiff. And finally, after all the times of never being able to do so, the mastiff has had enough and wants to defend itself and wants to protect itself and is given warning after warning after warning. And then that mastiff bites the chihuahua. Whose fault is that? Are you going to say it's the mastiff's fault for real? And then people are going to go, well, Courtney, if someone is bullying, and does that give the other kid the right to punch? Yes, it does. Because that's how you stop a bully. As you go, I've had a fuck enough. I've warned you. You don't do it at first. Of course you use words at first. Of course you try not to be violent. Violence is not the first answer. No. But if you've warned and warned and warned and you've used your words and used your words and you've gone to all the proper channels and all of that, then I'm sorry, you fucking punch him. So if he bites him, do you pick on, maybe you shouldn't pick on a gigantic dog. Maybe you should pick on someone your own size. So if Iran or Palestine or Gaza constantly picks on someone with better weapons than them, or that's bigger than them, more powerful than them, and that person warns and warns and warns and warns, and you keep just not listening, and you keep trying to kill them, and you keep beheading their children, you keep beheading and killing their citizens, and you put a GoPro cam on your head and you go in and you needlessly slaughter a bunch of women and children and a bunch of citizens, a bunch of innocent people, and you do it where you're so proud of it that you strap a GoPro and you make comments on it and you film yourself killing and slaughtering babies and beheading babies and putting their heads on pitchforks and stuff, like Game of Thrones kind of style. Why is that okay? Why is Israel supposed to not be upset? Why is Israel not allowed to defend themselves? For hundreds of years, these countries have been getting free shit, have been taken care of by a country that they are actively trying to kill. And Israel is not only not trying to kill them, not only has been holding back, but has been helping the motherfuckers, been giving them water, been giving them power, been giving them aid. It's not Israel's fault that they didn't get aid. Hamas takes it. Other countries take it. People get involved and take it. Israel isn't taking stuff away from them, never has. And then finally, after constantly being told that they're not allowed to defend themselves and that they have to just take women and children and their citizens dying, after hundreds and hundreds of years, these people keep throwing bombs at them and trying to kill them, even though Israel isn't doing anything back. They're supposed to just continue to take it. And then you call Israel a bunch of crazy people, a bunch of horrible people, a bunch of terrorists, and that they're terrible because they finally have had a fuck enough and they're fighting back. Maybe a Chihuahua should not fucking pick on a Mastiff. Maybe you shouldn't bring a toothpick to a gun show. Maybe you should pick on someone your own size. Maybe you shouldn't constantly shout death to a country and kill a bunch of children and put it on for the whole world to see and be proud of it. Why is it wrong for Israel to protect themselves? I'm telling every one of you out there that is pro-Hamas, that is pro-Palestine, you're stupid, you're a horrible person, you're a garbage human being. Garbage. If I lose followers, or if I lose listeners, that's okay. I don't need a terrorist to listen to me. I don't want a terrorist to listen to me. Because you are a terrorist if you're for that. If you think it's okay to strap a GoPro onto your head and go around beheading babies and children and constantly for hundreds of years go at a country that has to constantly be told to turn their back, that's fucked up. Just like it's fucked up for people to go around picking on the elderly for wearing a MAGA hat and picking on their dogs. Just like it's wrong when certain groups of people go around robbing stores and getting away with it and then crying oppressed. Just like it's wrong when people come into this country illegally and try to vote or get benefits. That is wrong. Just like it's wrong for our nation's capital to look like a shithole, or a capital of any state for that matter. It's not okay for any place to look like a shithole when you're paying taxes to have that place clean. When you're paying taxes, though, that money needs to go to keeping potholes to where we don't have potholes, to keep our roads safe, to keep our cities safe, to keep them clean. And if you are against keeping our cities safe and clean, and you are against the fact that our taxes need to go to people in our own country that are legal citizens, you have a problem. That's not everybody else's problem, because the majority of America agree that they want our cities to be safe. We don't want a bunch of homicides. We don't want sex trafficking. Call us crazy, which you are. And then you're trying to censor and take away our rights and go around beating up people that are wearing a t-shirt or a hat that you don't like. Violence is always the answer with you guys. I'm just confused. Why do you want to be so miserable and so hateful? Why do you want everything to be your way or the highway? Why do you want and need so much attention? What happened to you? Tell me. What happened to you as a child? You didn't get spanked. You didn't get consequences. That's what happened to you. You got the gentle parenting, which works for some kids. Don't get me wrong. I don't think spanking's the answer all the time. I don't think that yelling is ever the answer. I don't think you should ever yell at a kid. I don't think you should ever demean a kid. I just think there needs to be consequences. Sometimes gentle parenting works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you can do a combination. One size doesn't fit all. What does need to be constant is consistency, the follow through, the accountability, the consequences. There needs to be consequences. There needs to be a follow up. There needs to be accountability. I'm not saying you need to scream and yell at your kid. I'm not saying you need to, spank your kid all the time. A swat on the butt, though, doesn't hurt anybody. There's a difference between abuse and a spanking. There's a huge difference. And you can tell the kids that didn't get a swat on the ass. It's very obvious. And we don't want to deal with your shitty kids, by the way. I'm tired of dealing with other people's crappy kids. And then you claim it's working. It's like, but look at your child, it's not working. Again, I'm not claiming to be parent of the year. God, I was young when I had my kids. I felt I was a better parent actually when I was younger. I had a lot going on and I somehow managed it and I was on it. I followed through, and you can tell the difference between the kid that I followed through on and the one that I did the gentle parenting. There's a huge difference. So by no means do I think that I am perfect. I don't think Republicans are perfect. I don't think humans are perfect. I think that we are all flawed, like I said at the beginning. I'm well aware that I have said and done stupid shit. Well aware that I have misspoke. I have said some ignorant things. Like I said, I don't think Republicans or Trump are perfect. Hell no. I don't worship Trump. I just think he's a good president. Does he say idiotic things? And does he look orange half the time? Yeah. Is his hair stupid? Yeah. Half the time, though, he just likes to piss people off because he says things to poke and see if you get annoyed. And if you get annoyed, that's fun for him, which I find hilarious, personally. Maybe you just shouldn't get annoyed. Maybe if you're not a sensitive snowflake, then if you just laugh and start having a good time, if people would just start laughing. By the way, speaking of, if you want a good laugh, you should look up Peaches and Diesel. If you looked up House of Peaches, it might show up, but Peaches and Diesel, oh my God, she's hilarious. She's this gal, I don't want to guess her age, I think in her 50s maybe, kind of like red hair, long red hair, wears glasses, and she recreates really crazy and ridiculous fashion that's out there, but she does it in the most hilarious way, and she just her and her friends get involved, and they have really fun ideas on what to do as friends, and they just go out having an amazing time and celebrating life and laughing at their bodies and laughing at other people in a funny way, in a good way. And so you should watch it. But spend more time watching funny videos or outside or reading or with your kids or with your family or in nature or doing yoga or sleeping or, I don't know, working. But we don't need to constantly drag on this misery. Be happy that our country is doing well, and be happy for those that are working hard and can finally, see progress for it. But what I am seeing progress on is the amount of people that are hearing about my podcast. And I love that. Keep it up. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a coworker, tell a spouse, a partner, a child, Your child, probably not your minor child, your son or daughter that's 18 or older, because it's not really appropriate for younger than that, I would say, my podcast. Tell everybody. I'm so thankful to everybody that's been tuning in. Thank you so much. Keep it up. I love it. And again, you can always email me and tell me. Ramblings of an Insomniac 49 at Gmail. Ramblings of an Insomniac 49 at Gmail. You can give me your input. Thank you so much. Remember, control what you can. Whoa. All right. They are letting us know they are there. Remember, control what you can. Let go of what you can't. Remember to breathe. And listen to my podcast. Until next time.